Hey everyone, here's another channel review. I have like 50 channels to review at this point, so it is crazy how many I have to go through. In my previous reviews, I have been randomly selecting channels for review. However, this time, I manually picked 3 out because, well, they have been engaging on my channel, they have been helpful, and I think they deserve it. Also, I realized I talked a little too much in my previous reviews, so this time, I'll try my best to get straight to the point. So let's go. The first one, Raydos Adventure.
3.0 geocache with a 1.5. Let's see here. We are 16 feet away.
I am very impressed by a few things. First, the quality of your video. It is very clear. I'm guessing you have a good camera. Second, the audio. It is not easy to have such clear audio, especially when you're recording outside. You probably bought a shotgun microphone, I think, but anyways, great work on that. Third, your energy. It is important to have good energy in your video if you want to share your excitement with your viewers. I can feel your energy when watching it and it is fun. So, what can be improved? Okay, thumbnails. There's a lot of space for improvement in this area. The first change I would make is get rid of any thumbnails that are just text. It just doesn't pop. I know in the past there are a few channels who have had great success doing this, but they are big channels with millions of subscribers. So I suggest you stop doing that. The other one is the resolution of your screenshot. I'm guessing they are just a snapshot from your video. If so, that's okay, but try and get a clear picture if possible. It certainly enhances things a lot. I also reckon the text on your thumbnail is not readable. The font is okay, but the color just doesn't fit with your background somehow. And I think you are missing quite a lot of opportunity to make your thumbnail more eye-catching. I feel like it has the potential to make viewers stop scrolling if done correctly. They may not click on your video, but they may stop for a while and have a think. At least that gives your video a chance to be clicked, you know? I picked 2 thumbnails of yours and made some tweaks to show you what I mean. This is what it looks like on your channel, and this is what it looks like after I made some minor tweaks. What I did was simply add curiosity into the thumbnail. I think there's that potential in your channel and your niche. You can also see how I added some strokes to the text to make the word pop and more readable, making sure that's what catches the viewer's attention first. Here's another example of a better text. This is what it looks like before, and this is what it looks like after adding a simple stroke. Take some time to play around with the font as well. It actually does make a difference. I hope that's clear to you, but if you are like me, who is not that creative when it comes to all this, then perhaps you can hire someone to work on thumbnails for you if you can afford it. You don't have to pay that much. You can probably get a thumbnail done for about $5 to $10. Alright, now I want to talk about the niche, geocache. To be honest, I don't even know what geocache is. I actually have to look it up. I think your niche may just not be as in demand as other niches, which isn't a bad thing. It just means it may take some time to find that community of yours. If what I read about geocache is right, then the whole idea of geocache is to encourage people to go outside, explore, and have adventures. So just from that definition alone, I kind of think that geocache viewers will hardly be on YouTube. Most of the time, those watching on YouTube are either at home or on a train or heading back from work. I don't know. I feel like the whole idea here is to get people off technology. So why would they be spending their time on YouTube if they can go outside and enjoy the world? But if you love this niche, then I say go for it. But you might be able to do something different here with your video style. I notice a lot of your videos are similar to vlogging. And these days, vlogging has sort of turned to vertical style videos. So my suggestion is, if you are serious about content creation and geocache, focus on vertical videos instead, but upload to YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, and TikTok if it is still around. You don't really do that much video editing, so I think this will be perfect. One single vertical video repurposed everywhere. Then from there, see which platform gains you the most traction, then focus on that platform instead. That to me is the best way for vertical videos. If you want to do long form videos though, then I would say make them different from vertical videos. Your short form short-form videos can be about you discovering the cache, but your long-form videos can be about the journey to discovering that cache. The whole idea of geocaching is discovery and adventure. I feel like the journey to get to your cache is going to be interesting. The views you see, the undiscovered territory, the journey, to me, that's the purpose of geocaching. So that direction kinda affects the way you title your video as well. For example, you can have titles like, "This geocache adventure led me to discover the most beautiful hidden spots in Arizona." Then combine that with a great thumbnail of the scenery and stuff like that. I just think the video becomes a story worth telling. Okay, to summarize this up, fix up your thumbnails. There is certainly a lot of room for improvement here. Second, understand that your niche may not be the most in demand, so it will impact the views. If you are really passionate about geocaching and sharing your adventures, then don't let the views put you down. Third, do more vertical videos. Most of your videos you did are already fit for that purpose. Just repurpose them on different social media platforms. And fourth, use long-form videos to share your journey, not just the geocache. This requires a lot of work for sure, so I don't expect you to do one weekly, but you can easily keep your channel alive by uploading YouTube shorts in the meantime. Okay, next one is no people, no problems.
And the cabin in the woods in the middle of the nowhere. Everything was starting just fine. My wife tried to surprise me with a long weekend in a cabin in the woods in the end of the...
Alright, obviously this channel is not for everyone. It was so hard to review this channel because I got spooked out myself. And I'll be honest with you, I have no idea how to review this channel just because I haven't come across or watched channels in this niche. Having said that, I'll do my best to review this, but please take this as a grain of salt. I guess from what I gathered is this channel is more about storytelling, literally, and it is in the horror genre. Okay, the good stuff first. Your thumbnails are fine, but I actually thought it was a gaming channel at first. The thumbnails to me are high quality, but it just doesn't tell me that it is about a story. At first, I thought you were sharing your personal horror experiences, which I believe you are in some videos, but your style of thumbnail is telling me it is a fiction story. Like for this over here, is it a personal experience or is this a story? The other thing is the way the titles are used. What I find is I'm having a hard time trying to piece together which story links to which. Like over here, you have Lost Memories, The Memory Room Adventure Episode 4. But where is Episode 3? I'm guessing it is this one? Shadows of Destiny Episode 3? It sounds to me like they are chapters of a big story. This might just be me, but the way I would approach a book is I first look for the title, because that's what I remember, then the episode number, and finally the chapter name. I think the chapter name is probably the one I will least remember. I know you have a playlist to categorize them, but people hardly click on the playlist tab, unfortunately. But you can make your stories more accessible by customizing this in your YouTube studio. If you head over to customization, you'll see this featured section. And in there, you can add a section, then include your playlist you created. What this does is it creates a section in your home tab so viewers don't have to click on your playlist. It just looks way more presentable. And this leads me to the next point, consistency. There should be some form of consistency in your title and thumbnails. In terms of title, I suggest adding a title for your story so viewers know what this is related to right away. Not only that, it may also help the YouTube algorithm understand and push a follow-up video to those who watched your previous episode. Here's an example. RDC World 1. They do the most random videos ever. However, they have videos and skits that are follow-ups to one another, like this over here called Anime House. You can see right away that this is episodic and it is really clear in the title and the thumbnail. There's no need to click and watch the video to find out. It is self-explanatory even before I click it. The same goes for your channel. I don't see that consistency in your stories. You have like 5 types of stories, I guess, but I am unable to link them together. Not only that, your thumbnails are inconsistent as well. They are good, but it is hard to tell which leads to which. Like, if I want to watch just your life stories, how do I know which is which? The thumbnails all look about the same. I guess what I'm saying here is your thumbnails have to have some sort of recurring pattern in it in order to tell your viewers what it is. Maybe you can add some text, which I think will ruin your beautiful thumbnail, or maybe you can have a recurring character in the thumbnail to give more clarity. The final one here for me is your video style. I understand you are taking the approach where you're telling a horror story where someone can just turn it on and let it run in the background, almost like a podcast. But storytelling is an art, and you need to really be able to read your story in an engaging way. I'm not an expert in this, nor am I a teacher, but what I understand is there's a lot of tone and drama and storytelling in this. It is not as simple as simply reading off a script, you know what I mean? There are dialogues you need to portray. Sometimes you gotta read fast, sometimes you gotta read slow. It is not easy for sure and takes training. Perhaps you might want to share the stories you write on your website or something. There might be those out there who prefer to read horror stories so that they can create that atmosphere and vibe and use their own imagination. I'm sure you put in a lot of effort into the stories, so I don't know if you want to make it available for free or not, but that's just a thought. You can make that decision. Okay, summary. Your niche. You need to know that not everyone is into this niche. If you truly enjoy it, then do it, but don't be affected by the views. Second, consistency. Give some thought about how you can make your thumbnails and title consistent so that it makes it obvious which story ties to which. I think this is the main issue I have. Third, storytelling itself. Storytelling is an art. It's not just reading out of a script. It takes a lot of practice to be a good storyteller, lots to learn for sure, so just know what you're getting yourself into. And lastly, consider going the podcast route. You might be onto something, it might be non-video related, maybe Spotify or something. Again, I'm no expert, so do some homework in this. Okay, last one, free and free as.
What the tribe collectively thought, you get a point. And whoever has the most points by the end will win individual immunity. First question. Who would you trust with your life?
Okay, where do I begin with this one? I guess thumbnails are definitely not a problem here. To me, the thumbnail works. So what can we improve? First things first. What is this channel about? I mean, just look at this screen here for a second. What's the vibe you got from this without watching any of the videos? Hard, isn't it? Well, I was struggling as well. Like, he has death battle, he has struggles, he has skits, he has challenges. When a channel isn't clear about what they want to talk about, it becomes really hard for the viewers to get attached to the YouTuber. What I mean by that is, if your niche is pretty much, I want to make great videos, then please don't expect viewers to stick around as well. Usually viewers hang around because they want to gain something out of the channel. For me, people want to know how to improve their YouTube channel and possibly expand beyond that and make a business out of it. If I switch to say how to score in an interview or talking about lifestyle changes and habits, then no one wants to watch them. And I'm not saying this out of nowhere. I actually went through this method and it was horrible. If you want to talk about anything or do any videos, every single video launch you do still needs to tie back to your core product. So to me, I think your core product is skits and getting a good laugh. Am I right? If that's the case, then avoid doing death battle videos or solving the Rubik's Cube or studying Mr. Beast. It just feels out of place if you're doing skits, unless that itself is a skit, of course. The reason I'm saying this is because it can cause confusion not only for your viewers but also to the YouTube algorithm. Here's a good example. Mighty Keith. All of his videos are skits, but they are always related to the gaming industry. Or Uncle Roger. People just want to watch him grill and get annoyed with food-related stuff. Nobody wants to watch him talk about finance. I can see that you enjoy doing skits, so maybe in that skit itself, try and drill down a step further and understand what genre you want to cover in your skit, then attract the right audience. Because right now it is a little all over the place, and I can't help but feel sad here because your videos take a huge amount of effort to make. Now, if you want to do skits, you need to have the right way of titling your videos as well. Like this video here, I feel like it is well made, but the thumbnail and the title sort of implies that this is meant for those who are from Western university only, just because the thumbnail and the title put a lot of focus on that. It would be much better to not mention the university in your thumbnails and titles, then make it a generic challenge or skit, something like that. Then if you want to mention the university, do it in the video itself. I think challenge videos are meant to be like that, and Mr. Beast proved that it works. The same I would say goes for these two videos here as well. Like from my perspective, it just makes me feel like I should only watch this if I'm part of Ivy or Brown University. So that's the sort of vibe I get, and it is not wrong if you want to capture that particular audience, but the audience for this is really small. So if you don't get the views you want, well, that's kind of expected. Alright, so what actually works for you? Well, I can't help but feel that the videos about you losing weight seems to be the most relatable of all. And that's understandable. Losing weight is probably something most people go through at some stage in their life, so there's quite an audience for that. I'm not sure if that is your intended audience or not, or maybe you're just doing it for fun, but you need to decide. Do you want to do skits or do you want to do videos on losing weight? They are two different audiences and you have to pick one. You can't get them both. If you try to get them both, then your viewers will be divided and you're going to have trouble with returning subscribers. Honestly, I don't really have much more feedback than that. I just think the channel isn't clear what direction he wants to head towards. Saying you want to make great random videos is fine, but you probably can't expect retainable subscribers through random videos. And on top of that, your channel is really at its infancy, just because there are lots of gaps in between uploads. Like this year alone, you have only uploaded one video. Uploading video consistently is sort of necessary for new YouTube channels. It is at the stage where YouTube just doesn't know what your channel is about and requires a lot of metadata to kind of rank you in their algorithm. So having lots of initial uploads is necessary. Unless of course your first video went viral and you gained overnight success, which can happen, but really rare. Right, so in summary, decide on the direction for your channel. Do you want to do skits? Do you want to do challenges, death battles, gaming? You gotta decide. And then, who are your target audience? Be specific with this because they think differently. A college student thinks very differently from someone who is trying to lose weight. Focus on one audience first, then grow that community. Third, consistency. Without that, it is really hard to tell what is wrong with the channel. There's just not enough data to understand. MKBHD's first 100 videos only got him 70 subscribers, but he learned a lot from that. If you want to know what is wrong with your channel, you have to upload more to better understand the situation. Okay, so that is all I have in this review. Went a little over again, but I actually did not give a full review for any of these channels. It just takes way too long, but I have so much to say. Anyways, I'll explain why next time in another video, but for now, I'm going to end this here, so take care and see you in the next one.